So, this is my first live, technically my second, but I was listening to an old recording. This is January 1st, 2023. I was living with my parents after a very ugly separation. And then leading into a divorce. My mother was gaslighting me all the time. She just had to be in control of everything when I was around. She doesn't know boundaries. I've learned boundaries, but she doesn't know boundaries. This is for posterity's sake. I'm not waiting for people to come in live. I had a no contact order against me, so I wasn't allowed to speak to Wendy at the time. So my parents were my third party, so I could set up parenting time with Wendy. And I didn't have to break my no contact order. Well, my mother had called, let's call her, my mother. Excuse me. My mother had called and left a message on Wendy's voicemail. Only problem is, Margie is her name. She had called Wendy and hung up because somebody picked up on the other side, but all she heard was background noise. She didn't hear anybody say hello, so Margie, my mother, just sat there probably for a few seconds and hung up. She didn't say hello, call out or anything. She just hung up. So when I asked her if she called Wendy, she's like, yeah, I called her. I'm like, did you talk to her? She's like, yeah, I talked to her. I'm like, oh yeah, you told her I wanted to see the boy. She was like, yeah. I'm like, what'd she say? Nothing. For a long time, she hid the fact that she called and had hung up without saying hello, without speaking to anybody. She refused to tell me that for like 10 or 15 minutes. I couldn't figure out why her story didn't make sense, because she kept leaving this part out and she refused to mention it until I said, I was shocked because she was keeping it from me, the fact that she had hung up calling Wendy, my ex. So when I said, I was surprised. I said, don't tell me you hung up. And my mother got angry. She says, don't you dare talk to me like that. So a narcissist. Hi, Emery. Nice to see you. I'm telling a story, and I'm going to be listening to a recording. It's a triggering recording. There's a little bit of screaming, and my kids are there. And I've never broken this down completely on paper or on video. So this one's going to be for posterity. I have 9 viewers. Holy smokes. I didn't expect any viewers. 7. Okay. So my mother had hid the fact that she didn't actually speak to Wendy. And when she said she spoke to Wendy, it was a stretch of the truth. She talked to Wendy. She left a message on the voicemail. She never talked to my ex. So because of that, I had to drag that information out of her, just because I was getting this cognitive dissonance where nothing made sense. A plus B equal 99, and nothing seemed to fit. So when I found out she had just simply hung up and then called back and left a message, she got really angry with me for finding that out. Now, it was kind of settled. But she comes up to me and starts calling me names. She starts calling me rude and mean towards her. So at that point in time, I whipped out the phone and I hit record. And I told her, now, when you start lying, I'm going to have it recorded. And my dad immediately got upset because it was becoming such an issue dealing with her gaslighting me, telling me things didn't happen, and one of her most famous lines is, "That's not what I meant. You always get us for words," because she says horrible things and then says later, "I never meant that." Or they say, "Well, I have a right to." And yes, people have a right to be an asshole. but you're still an asshole. And just because you have the right to be one doesn't mean you're not an asshole. Anyway, here we go. Warning, it's a trigger warning. You hear my kids get upset a couple times, closer to the end. And you hear me yelling to be heard, and you hear my father screaming to stop us from arguing. And you will hear Margie deny that he screams. And she says, no, he didn't. And I say, yes, he did. And she says, Brian, he hardly ever screams. I'm like, I have it recorded if you're going to keep denying it. And then she's, well, it's if he did, it's because of you. So first it's denial that it ever happened. Then switch around, say, oh, it hardly ever happens. And if it does happen, it's your fault. That's classic. Is it, what does Dr. Romney say? I think the Darbo method. Defend, attack, reverse, victim, offender. So even though they've been attacking you and hiding things from you, you become the offender because you called them out on their bullshit. Anyway. Rock and roll.
Safe stuff. I have it recorded.
You know something?
It's frustrating.
Hold on.
It's
Let me talk for a minute.
Go ahead.
Screams to be heard, and then when he has a chance, he just says, man, for once, just let me talk.
Jeez. At least once. Let me say something.
Do it then. Say it.
There is
At least once, let me tell you, he gets to talk a lot. He does.
no need of this at all. A simple conversation about how we're taking care of the kids or what we're deciding on what we want to discuss about how the kids are going.
What we're deciding on what we want to discuss on, no. The discussion was, did you talk to my ex? And then, when I found out she hung up, I was called rude for stating that she hung up. So I was defending myself to the accusations of being rude and disrespectful at this time. And that's why I started recording. He's like, a simple conversation about what we have to say. This wasn't about what we had to say. This is misdirection, redirection. It's really gaslighting because he wants me to think I shouldn't argue with her. So he's saying whenever he can, he's really, what is it when you help an addict? I have trust issues, and I know they do too. When you aid an addict, what is that when you aid and abet someone who has a problem? It's like an alcoholic. They might cut you off at the bar, but if you go buy alcohol for them, you are, the word fails me right now. Anyways, I think my parents are a little codependent on each other, 100%. I mean, but my dad hides his drinking from my mother just to avoid fights. I think my mom ignores his drinking so that she doesn't have to fight. You know what? I'm going to search this for a second. When you help an alcoholic drink, what are your enabler? It came to me. Boom, you're an enabler. So he enables her gaslighting and mental abuse by telling me to let it go instead of letting me defend myself. Hitting and abetting, yeah, that's what I said.
To get from point A to point B, or when that's going to take place, should not involve an argument about exact words you're saying on how to deal with it. We're talking about.
So Ketis,
Come on the table so you
my youngest, was upset. So right now, we're taking a break from the argument, giving him a snack.
How many guys do you need?
I did in 2023 for a short time. November, December, January. For 3 months or so, I lived with my parents when I went through my divorce.
It's okay. Now he's happy to play with some.
Now I have a place of my own. I live with my
It's
cousin.
not about a single word in a conversation.
Is mom getting the answer? She's not getting the answers she wants. Is that the problem?
I don't
She wanted
know
me to go.
whether-
I said no. I said
I had a no contact order. I didn't want to go near her, my ex, if I didn't have to. But I was asking my parents to pick up the children for a visit. And I didn't want to go because I really didn't want to be around her. I would go if my dad really wanted me to, but my mom said, I'm not going to let him go. I'm not going to let him go. I didn't say what I didn't want to go. She asked if I wanted to go. Is my ex still in the picture? My ex right now has the children, but she's alienating me from the kids. I had them for 4 years. 2020. Oh, you know what? This date is that I'm reading. That's when I recorded it. The date this happened was like 2018. This would have been closer to 2019. This actual recording happened. I had the children for 4 years, and now my ex-wife has them back again. I am fighting for my rights to see my children. I'm basically getting ignored by everybody. So I have court set in October. Oh, we're already divorced as of years ago. Thankfully, like 2022, I think, was the official divorce. And I got primary care and control of the kids in 2019. Oh, shit. I may have to pick this up again later. I'm only at the 1 minute and 40 mark. I just want to be a full-time dad, actually. I want my children back in my care. Under my roof and in my care, they'll be able to see their mom. And while they're with their mother, she won't let me see them. We don't live in the same city. I don't have a car. I'm fighting for my right to be a parent right now, and the government's gonna pay for my legal aid. Looks like I might have to go see my friend. He seems to be in a rush. Who's a better parent? Let me turn that off. I feel like that's a loaded question. With me, they'll have a relationship with both of us. With her, she won't allow me to have a relationship, and that's not good for my boys. And that's not good for me either. It's a good way to punish me for doing her wrong, breaking up with her, abandoning her, ultimately. The youngest is too young to decide. The oldest, I want to get a lawyer for the oldest so that we can take it to court and we can help him make the decision. I'm hoping. We'll see. With summer coming up, what's best for the kids? It's best for the kids that they have a relationship with both of us. She got hooked on methamphetamines and lost the children. That's how I easily won primary care and control. She tried to drag it out as long as she could, but I got primary care and control, had my boys under my roof for 4 years. They saw their mother every 2 weeks. They had phone calls with her multiple times a week, weekends, Wednesdays, and she won't give me anything. What's best for the kids is knowing that both parents care and love them, and those kind of parents should be there for them. And there shouldn't be barriers placed in the way. All right, I got to get back to my buddy. I will pick this up again. She was on meth, and she was on meth while she had the kids. That's how I got them to begin with. But I dated another woman who was toxic, who thought my kids belonged to her. And when I broke up with her, she took my kids and ran. And CFS gave my children to her, pretending that I'm mentally unfit. I'm a little different, but I'm not mentally unfit. I appreciate that, Michael. Thank you. I thank you for being here, as well as was it Emery was here? Emery might still be here. I will try this again. because I need to get this recording out, and it helps. Listening to it triggers me, and it gets my heart rate, my blood pressure up. I think if I can talk about it completely, I don't need to come to any conclusion. I just need to get it out. And if I see it afterwards, maybe I'll be able to be triggered less and less. But I think it's not as triggering as it used to be. It's hard to listen to people scream at you and you yelling to be heard. It's not easy. Time for a hobby. I do paint, actually. I like to paint and read and draw. Let's see. For example, what if I can, oh, here we go. This is a building I was doing. Facials. It's another structure. I'm sitting at a bench. The painting I started recently, I haven't got around to for a while, but there's 3 of them. There's this one and this one. They go together as a trio. I cannot remember the name of what it's called. Yeah, art supplies littering the table. Sketchbooks litter the table. And yes, I do partake of the cannabis. As this is how they go. So this is well, they are acrylics, which is water based. So they might as well be watercolor. If I want, I can water them down and get a nice color effect. Thank you. Oh, I guess the sketchbook. I have some color sketches, and although I'm not into my sketchbook every day, I do hit the sketchbook. Oh, nice. I'm not. I feel like I don't really have my own style, but I mean everybody does. Everyone has a signature like pen stroke. I would recognize a lot of my drawings anywhere, but part of that is memory, because remembering that I do them. This is inspired by Blaine the Mono from Stephen King. Oh, the clear gloss. It adds such a nice effect. Oh, there's a charcoal of my youngest son. And this was a charcoal of my 2 boys, taken from there. So, and I plan on taking up mountain biking soon. But the clear gloss is a great idea. Oh, thank you. So, and I do love videos and recordings. I'll be honest, my mom wasn't always the biggest jerk. She was if it made her look good, she would embrace it. So anything, I had a couple of talents in my youth. So my art, I was lucky that I think she embraced that part of me. And I was good at 5-pin bowling. So she kind of embraced, well, my family embraced that. I did too, because I love my 5-pin bowling. And I do like making videos. Unfortunately, people think I'm crazy, but to me, it's this kind of stuff is like a diary for me. Doing this kind of stuff. So, I mean, and I always call myself an open book. Kind of, you get what you see. So, I'm a little idiosyncratic, I guess. I got my quirks. I'm me. But I like my good crazy. I've always appreciated my differences. it seems like the two women I was with for a long time, in the long run, they didn't like my differences in the long run. Like if I hear a lie, I hear bullshit, and I say bullshit. Like, how dare you say that to me? Like, man, you go kick a puppy, and I call them a, not that they kicked a puppy, but I go kick a puppy and I say, you're a real bitch. Like, you can't say that to me. My dad used to say that. You're just like my dad. Oh, it's like, you kicked a puppy, you're a bitch. You can't talk to me like that, but you're being a bitch. People can't handle that. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. I love the first name, by the way. That's my first name. It's actually Michael Bryan. My parents never called me Michael. I've always been Brian. All right. I've ignored my buddy for a long time, at least 5 minutes now. But I actually really appreciate talking to you, Michael. Thank you. And thank you, whoever else is here right now. I hope to see you again. Not that I really see you, but I see you. I see your words. I see your names. All right. Good night.